expert driving tips for the safest trips. Stay tuned. This episode of the Dollar Saving Divas podcast is brought to you by renttherunway.com.
You'll find more than 200,000 pieces and 400 designers in the Rent the Runway closet. For any event you might be attending, formal, cocktail, or festive, you can get 4 or 8 day designer rentals for a fraction of the price. Anything you want, one flat price.
And when you click the link on our Dollar Saving Divas Facebook page, you'll save even more and help keep this podcast free.
Look great and save money too at renttherunway.com.
Okay, Leslie, we're in the dead of winter, and I don't know about you, but I hate it when there's snow on the ground and on the roads, and it's dangerous out there in Ohio in the wintertime. I hate it.
No, I'm not a fan of driving through the snow. Doesn't bother me so much. It's the ice and the sleet and
and when you have a garage, it's great because you don't have to clean off your car. But when you're out and it's snowing, you got to make sure that you get all the snow off your vehicle, off the hood and off the roof and off the windows. I don't know about you, but they say you have to use a brush that's soft. I've actually scratched my car before when I've used something that was the wrong end or trying to get that ice off. But I don't know about you, but I've actually used a credit card before to.
Oh, sure. Use my driver's license in a pinch. It works.
It works. It seems to get it off.
But you
there.
need the big brush because there's nothing more irritating than following somebody who has not cleaned off their car properly.
And it flies right in your windshield. And then, it scares you to death.
Chunks coming off the roof of their car.
Particularly those big semi-trucks. Mm-hmm. That's why I try not to drive behind a big old semi because they can get up there and clean off the top of those trucks.
Yeah, but take the time. I mean, I know it's cold out there, but don't carve the tiny little peephole out of your front windshield and leave the rest
Clean
of it
the whole
on.
Thing. Also, I didn't really think about this all the times, but your headlamps and your taillights, because obviously you got to clean all that off. And did you know this? I had no idea that several states like Connecticut and New Jersey can fine you if you don't take the snow off of your car before driving it.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing.
Actually, it's not a bad thing.
It's really dangerous.
I think that was kind of I didn't know that, but that's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then make sure that you're driving, kind of smooth out your driving when you're driving on slick roads, no jerky turns, or just kind of pretend like you're driving with a full cup of coffee, not in a travel mug on your dashboard. You can't spill anything because, you make those quick turns and you're liable to go sliding.
Well, and people drive too fast. They think, you can still drive the speed limit on a freeway when it's, snowing, and that's just dumb. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's just dumb. Well, and I've failed to do this, but you're supposed to steer into a slide when your car
turn into the skid.
Yes, and I have failed to do that and actually turned the other way.
Yeah.
And not good.
Not good.
It was definitely not good.
Definitely you want to turn into the skid if you do, unfortunately,
straightens you out. So, yeah, I've been on a curb before because I turned the wrong way and slid the other direction.
That's a scary feeling.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and just because you have four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive doesn't mean that that it's going to stop on a dime on slippery roads. You still have to drive carefully on slippery surfaces. It only provides extra traction when you're accelerating. It doesn't give you any advantage when you're braking. So don't have a false sense of security because you're driving a four-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car.
Well, and then another one, which this came from, which I wouldn't do anyway, but it says don't pass the snow plows. Well, number one, I don't want all that salt hitting my car. And then they said, and you want to go. The snowplow go, several feet in front of you because he's getting rid of the snow. Yeah. So if you pass him, you're going to you're going to have the snow anyway. So yes, just stay behind so you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, be patient. My goodness, there's nothing you have to get to that quickly.
No, and if
pass the snowplow.
Exactly. I think everybody's a little bit more flexible at work and things like that. It's not like you have to rush to get there because everybody's driving in the same weather condition that you are.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is always make sure that you have extra windshield cleaner. Never run out of the wiper fluid in the cleaner. And then you can buy. You want the stuff that you buy for winter weather that will stay fluid even when it's below freezing.
I've had stuff that wasn't good and it froze on my window.
Freeze and you can't get it'll freeze in the container.
I remember being going with my daughter to a volleyball tournament, and we were coming back on a Sunday night. It was snowing. We were on 71 coming back down to Columbus, and my windshield washer fluid ran out.
Oh,
so we had to, and you can't see. I mean, you literally can't see.
If somebody goes by you and splashes a bunch of salt and muck and
it was
slush on you, you're
so
in
we
trouble.
actually had to pull off the freeway. I had to get out. I took snow and I wiped it, and then we had to do that like 3 or 4 times until I could get home. I was just like, and actually it was scary to have that happen.
Scary, yeah.
Well, some other things that you can do. There's several things to take the sting out of winter driving as well. More cars are offering. They call them winter-friendly features, and I think these are pretty cool because a lot of them are bundled together. So, and they call them cold weather packages. One that I'm familiar with, not that my car has it, but the remote start. I remember a long time ago there was a guy I dated, and he had a Cadillac, and he could actually from his house start the car.
It's nice
and I said, that's really nice, but you have to make sure if it's outside that the car is locked because otherwise you might go out and your car's gone. It might be warm, but it's gone.
Yeah. So somebody else is enjoying that warm car.
Exactly. The other thing is, and I guess a lot of things like newer vehicles like Mercedes-Benz and Volvos have that as well. And those can be started by your smartphone, which would be very cool. Mm-hmm. Another thing, and I have this in my car, heated seats.
Oh, I don't know how we ever lived without heated seats. I will never go back.
And it used to be more just like, I have a Lexus, and a lot of times they said it was just with luxury cars, but that's not the case anymore. And you used to have to do it with, get an upgrade to leather upholstery, but that's not true anymore. A lot of automakers like Hyundai, Jeep, and Subaru now offer that option with cloth upholstery, which I think is really, really good. And not only do I mean, in the winter time, I have the heated seats, but in the summertime, I've got cooling seats too. Oh, I love that.
I use the heated seats all year round. I don't care. I'm always cold.
So
I can have the air conditioner on full blast, and I still have the heated seat on.
Your little bum bum's nice and toasty warm.
I like to be warm.
It really is nice in the winter, though. I mean, it's to get in.
I'll never have a car without heated seats again. I just can't. I can't go back to that.
No, I can't either. I don't know what we did.
Now, the one thing I don't have, which I think would be really nice, is the heated steering wheel. Some of the models have a heated steering wheel.
I never even heard of that before.
Yeah, I don't have that in my car, but I think I would enjoy it.
Well, and because that way, because your steering wheel does get really cold.
Oh my gosh, when it's cold,
you wouldn't have to.
You have your gloves on.
Exactly.
It's too cold to,
And if you have those kind of, those gloves that are like scarf kind of things, they slip and slide on the steering wheel.
I know, you've got to have the driving gloves.
Exactly. The little leather ones, like you're a race car driver.
Right.
Zooming around.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy the heated steering wheel. Also, you can get heated side mirrors. Another thing I don't have, but I can see that would be nice. So you don't have to scrape.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, and the windshield wiper de-icers and washer jets. Some of the models actually heat that to keep everything, to keep it all fluid, and
because nothing.
Right. So it can do that thing that it does.
Exactly. Like it's doing what it's supposed to do. Well, and then I had never heard of this before, but heated windshield. Now, to me, I mean, that seems more of a downside because they say that, they've got these like wavy elements in them across the windshield, and that could actually be very distracting. And actually, it says that on the easy passes they have like in toll things that it actually won't work.
Oh, that would be terrible if your easy pass doesn't work.
And I'm sorry, but I don't know about you, but I thought every car had a defroster in it. I mean, just use the defroster.
Yeah, well, the heating elements, they put it across the back. So it would be distracting to have it on the front windshield.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that. I'm just going with my defrosters.
Yeah. Well, last piece of advice, buy really good windshield wiper blades.
Absolutely.
Nothing worse than you're out there in the snow and ice and your windshield wiper blades are not working. They have new ones that have a spring steel incorporated into the rubber. They're a little more expensive. They're snow-friendly beam windshield wipers. And you can get them on Amazon for like $20 to $60, but worth the money if you have good windshield wiper blades.
I need some new ones, so yeah. I think those are some great tips, but let's hope that soon we'll be doing
great to a warm weather state.
Exactly.
Avoid it all.
Avoid it all. Maybe the next time when the podcast will be talking about driving in the summertime. Thanks. We've heard from so many of you, our Dollar Saving Divas podcast listeners, that you're having a difficult time leaving a rating and review for the podcast in iTunes. So here's a painless way to do it.
Go to www.pleasereviewmypodcast.com/DSD for an easy step-by-step tutorial to follow. That's www.pleasereviewmypodcast.com/DSD.
Reviewing and rating our podcast in iTunes helps us in so many ways, but most importantly, we get your feedback on what you like about the podcast.
Thanks for being a listener and subscriber and going to www.pleasereviewmypodcast.com/DSD. Thanks for listening to the Dollar Saving Divas. If you have ideas for an upcoming episode, we'd love to hear from you. Just head to our Facebook page at facebook.com/DollarSavingDivasCBus and share your comments. Our podcast is available on iTunes, iHeartMedia, or your favorite podcast player. Thanks again for listening.
Circle270media.com